Are we live? This is the first question which every YouTuber asks when when they are going live, right? Okay, cool. I think we are live, right? Okay, I cannot watch myself live. Okay, that's cool. Okay, hello all, welcome to the channel. And today we will be going to design a clone, and the clone is which we are going to design is the Airbnb clone. So first is that we will be doing the high level design, and then we can move forward with the low level design. Okay, so let me use the whiteboard for that. Okay, and that's the whiteboard. Airbnb Clone, right? So I have written some of the documents like bullet points here. I will be also sharing them in the like in the video description. And this project will be for sure be published in Git. So let me first create the Git repo. So Airbnb clone and GPL general GPL general public license. Okay, and that's the clone of the repo. So let's get started. Okay, so obviously we will be coding this thing in the microservices level architecture. So that's the H2DB. So definitely the H2 database will be having two particular files, that is data.sql and schema.sql, and this is the front end, and that is going to be the back end. Okay, and let me write the technical stack what we are going to use. So technical stack for this particular thing will be Java, React.js, Spring Boot, H2, database, that's the console, and Swagger dependencies on and on, right? We will be using Axios. We can use the Tailwind. Let's see how it goes. I also don't know how it's going to look like after some time, right? So Axios and React router. Okay, so this will be the technical stack of the project, right? Now let's do the system design for this, right? System design, the microservices. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So first thing is that how will be the flow for the app like Airbnb, right? So the flow for the app, there will be an user, there will be a property, and there will be an engagement. Engagement will be in the context of period, or in the context what I can call it as allotment, right? And so this will be my entity, the first entity, and this will be the second entity, and we will be creating the controllers and all, right? So one second, sorry, where is that? Yeah, exactly. So okay, let's discuss about the API first. Okay, API discussion will be, if we are doing the API discussion, then it will be easy to decouple the application, right? So obviously there will be users API, properties, bookings, and additional APIs. I'm not going to do that. So let's discuss this right first. So it will be create, update, delete, get all, and get by ID. Okay, and this same thing will be present in the properties, and same thing will be present at here, right? And definitely we can apply some filters that will be in the front end, that is short, that is by location, by price, by vacant, word, and by ratings, right? Or basically I can call it as feedbacks, right? Got it. Now yeah, and now let's do the design for the like data modeling design. Okay, so data modeling design of user and property and user property and user property and booking, right? Yeah, bookings. Okay, so this will be the entities and relationship. Okay, so in the entity and relationship, what we are going to do is the user, or what I can call it as user class, will be having some of the property fields, right? So the first it will be ID, first name, last name, email, phone number, and definitely this will be specific to the country code, right? And then role, that is host or guest, and properties. So the catch here is that one user can hold multiple properties, so the relationship will be one to many, one is to many, right? Okay, and let's discuss about the property one. So this is the property, right? So property will be having an ID, property will be having a name, property will be having an description, city, country, price per night, owner, and bookings. Okay, so yeah, and the catch again here is that like each property will have multiple bookings, right? Yeah, and here goes our booking entity. So booking is actually the guest. So booking will be only done by guest, right? So that is the constraint here. It will be not done by the host. Makes sense. And the booking, yeah. So let's do that. So each booking will be having an ID, check-in date, checkout date, total price, property, and guest. Okay. And let's draw the data modeling diagram, right? Okay. So the data modeler diagram will be something like this. This is the user, right? So user, see, I'm only mentioning the primary key, right? So the primary key will be the ID, right? So this will be the primary key. And this will be coming here. Okay, and this will be going there. So this will be the property. Booking. This will be the ID. Okay. So in the property, there will be one particular foreign key, F key. Okay, and this is how it's going to look like. Okay. And I guess that's all right. Yeah. Okay, so this is the data entity diagram, and this is the HLD for it, right? Let me write HLD. Okay, now let's start up the coding part. So for the coding part, this time I will be using the Lombok in order to generate the boilerplate code, right? So let me just minimize this. Let me open the Chrome browser. Yeah. And this time I will go into Spring initializer and make the thing for Airbnb Clone. Name an artifact demo clone for Airbnb project YT stream Java 21 Kotlin Maven. Let's do that. So Spring Web Lombok JPA H2 and Tier Spring Security. My lattice. JDBC. Messaging, we don't require anything. I don't want to do the zipkin right now. Okay. Eureka server, cloud load balancer, SLF4J, OpenAI. I don't want to integrate that. Okay, is there any more thing left? I guess no, probably. Okay, that's all right. So I will be using JDK version 21, and that's all right. So I will click on generate. So that's all, we have got the project, right? Opening up there, firing up the IntelliJ. So it will be, just drag this trust project. Close. Project is popping up here. So in the meantime, let me fire up the terminal. So cd downloads. Okay, cd Airbnb clone. So git init. All right. So git commit -m, sorry, git add dot git commit -m init commit status git add remote origin. Sorry, what's the command for that? Git remote add origin. Okay. Git add git origin, sorry, master. Authentication failed. So let's do the authentication. Okay, so let's create a PAT. So creating the PAT now. So git push minus all. What's that? Okay. So git checkout minus b dev1. What's this? Let's do the force push. Let's do the new branch. Yeah, now it should be there in the git. Yep. Yes, every file is there. So there is ident changes to do. Okay. This is main branch. Okay, cool. Got it. Okay, done. So now we can start up the coding, right? So first check our Spring Boot application is running or not. So let's fire it up, and it will be running on the port number 8080. So let's check that first. So starting on the port number, and so localhost port number 80. Okay, there is something running there. Okay. It's not the login. Okay, got it right. So now let's do the coding, right? Okay. Before that, let's do one thing. Configure our port number. Okay, configure port number on Spring Boot. So to go to the resources, application.properties, server.port equals to 80 8081. Let's first so configure the port number, right? Cool. Okay. And let me show you some of the things here, right? So Spring Boot security. Let me remove the security, right? We don't need the security. Spring Web Starter. That's already releasing the Maven. Have we needed it? And let's check our port number again. Yeah, so this is the error. It should come. Error means success, right? Okay, cool. So let's start at the coding part. Okay. So definitely we are not going to start from the front end, where we will be going to start from the backend part, and then we will be integrating the things for the front end, right? So obviously we require three particular folders. So the first package which I can define as, I don't know, entity or model class. Let's make it entity. And in entity I will be having three things, right? And then I will be creating one class called as repository, and then I will having one thing called the service. So service, repository, model, and at last we will be having the main thing that is called as controller. Cool, right? So let's go to the entity, create a user, annotate this with entity Jakarta, ID generated, strategy, generation type, identity, private long L capital ID, private string, first name, and this will be last name, email, password. And then what we will be doing, we will be let me add the data, all args constructor, no args constructor, right? And we can after do with the property, right? ty property, and we can copy this thing, paste it in the property. The things required for property will be private long id, private string name, private string city, private string country, private, it will be double, price per night. Okay, done. And here we definitely the id, okay, generated value, strategy, generation type, identity, import the class Jakarta, all args constructor, no args constructor data, right? That's all. Then we can go for the booking. So this will be entity, data, strategy, okay, here is a catch, I have forgot to add in the property, right? So in the property there will be minute one column for the user, right? And the bookings we have minute one, join column, sorry, not this one, we will be having this one, right? So local date time, done. All right, so what we did, 3 classes, okay, done. Now let's push the changes, commit model coding classes, done, commit and push, commit and push anyway, push, it's pushing. I hope that is will be not an issue now. Sure, convert to origin, okay, cool. So let's go back to the folder structure, and now let's start creating up the repo. So first repo will be user repository, okay. Second will be property repository. Bookings. It should not be bookings, it should be booking. So let me rename it. Where is that? Booking. So 3 models and 3 repo, right? So let's make it interface, extends, JPA repository, okay. Property. Oh, it should be, one second, it should be annotated with repository, right? Extend JPA repository, and this should be property. And let's check the data type for it. It's long, right? And here you go, and that's it. So here we are going to have booking, and it is annotated with the this annotation that is called as repository, right? Done. Cool. So let's again push this one, repo coding class, repo classes, done and dusted. Commit and push, commit and push anyway, commit and push. Okay, and now we will be going for the service. So for service we require 3 service again. First will be user service, okay, and the second will no, let's first do the service of the user, right? So the service, so private final user repo, add a constructor parameter. No, we haven't added that, I guess. Okay, one second. Let's check the user one. Yeah, that's the problem, we haven't annotated with the repository, and it should not throw up an error now. Private final user repository, creating the constructor. Now here we will be adding all the things, right? So first is create, get all user, second will be create user, third will be create get user by ID, next will be create delete user. So get all user, public list with the type of user, and get all user, utils, and return user repository dot find all. What? Second will be, second it will be public user create user, and this will be taking an object of user type and return user repository dot save entity the user type. Makes sense. And public get user by ID, right? So public optional user get user by ID, so long ID, so return user repository find by ID, and this ID will be coming here. Okay, then public void delete user long ID, return user repository dot delete ID, delete by ID and the ID. What it says? 1 second. Dot, yeah, it's ID only. Okay, done, right? Yeah. So now let's create the controller for user. So user controller. Okay. So create service class for booking and property. We have missed the service for booking, right? Yeah, sorry. Let's create the booking, right? So booking service, so annotate this with service, and okay, one second. This is the booking entity, right? Okay. Yeah, got it. Yeah, cool. So this is the booking service, right? So let's do that, right? So auto add private booking repo, and creating an object for that. Auto add private property repo, and here we can add the comment. This is the comment which I was searching for. So here we need to do the params, right? So params will be property ID. Okay. Second param will be start date. Third parameter will be end date, and the last parameter will be like return param booking object. Okay. So public booking create booking, okay, input class, so it will long property ID, okay, so it will be long property ID, local date, start date, local date, end date. So this is a method, right? So this method will be property equals to property repository dot find by ID, and what's that? Property ID. Okay, or else so a lambda function, new runtime exception, property not found. Okay, is the syntax correct, right? Interface, no. Property, this is the code, right? Okay, cool, not an issue. So booking equals to new booking, so booking dot okay, so in the booking class, let's get the getter and setter. Set property, and the property booking dot set start date booking dot set end date, right? So then we have to save the booking. So return booking repository dot save booking. Okay, so this is all about the service, right? So now what we'll be doing is that we'll be creating the service for serving like the all of the API endpoints, that is get booking by ID, delete the booking, right, and show all bookings, right? So retrieve. So get all bookings. So public get all booking, yeah, public list type of booking. Okay, so return booking repository dot find all. Okay, return booking repository dot so in booking repository we have to add one thing, right? So in booking repository it should define property by ID. Yeah, okay. Get booking by prop ID, property ID. Makes sense. At last we have got the delete. So this is the function for delete, right? So it's get booking by ID so I will be going to user and I can do this one, right? So return booking dot delete ID, right? Delete by ID, so delete by ID and it should return or it should not return anything. Okay, yeah, that's it. Now it's left for that is the so booking is done. Now it's left for property service, right? Okay, so let's now go to the service, right? So let's go to the service and create the property service. So annotate the service. Auto add. Private property repository. Private user repo. Public property. Create property. Property object property. Non-user ID. Okay. So user owner equals to user repository dot find by ID. User ID. It's fine only. No. Oh, we have added the optional, yeah. Let me do one thing. Let us straight away property dot set owner. So this property is coming from the property. Again, we have to create the constructors here, right? So I'm generating the getters and setters, and this should resolve now. Then get property by user ID. So public property get property by ID. Return a property repository find by ID. Once again, what's that? So these are the two methods which we need to use. Okay, just catching up the exceptions as well, right? So service and booking class we have done, right? Now we will be integrating with the controller. Okay. Okay. Now let's again commit the code. Okay, and now let's Go to the user controller. We haven't created the user controller. Okay. We haven't created the user controller, so okay, let's wait. We have done the okay, so let's create the controller. Where is booking repository? Yeah. So let's create the controller for booking, right? So booking controller. So request REST controller, REST controller, and request mapping / API / bookings and auto wired. So private bookings is public booking create request param. So request param will be long property ID. Request param start date. Request param end date. Request param return. Let's see what is going to return, right? So return booking service dot create booking. So property start date end date. Got it. So this is posting a new booking, right? Posting a new booking in association with a property ID. So get mapping public booking return booking service dot get get booking by ID. No, one second. What's the property? Controller. So we will be checking the booking service, right? Let me check the booking service. This is the booking service. So get booking by property Yeah, we haven't added the get booking by id, right? Yeah, so this we will be making it here. So get booking by id. Right, so mm, get booking by id, so this will be connected this one. Then there is one more type of mapping, get mapping public list, get all bookings, booking service will get all bookings, right? So public list booking, property path variable, long property id, we must have done some spelling mistake here. It should be get bookings. Yeah, got it. And lastly we are going to map the delete mapping, that's it. Makes sense. So we have done the booking methods, and this is the method for it. Alright, right, so booking is done, controllers, what we have done, controller is done, booking repository is done, booking service is done, user service is done. Let me just close all. Right, so till now we have created only one controller and we have created the user service, right? So let me create the controller for user now, right? User service, yeah, so let's get started. So REST controller, request mapping slash API slash users, auto add private user service, so get mapping public list user, get all users, return user service dot get all user. Okay, then after that creating a new user. So add the get mapping, and this will be called sorry, yeah, so it will be public, yeah, right. So response entity user, get user by id, path variable long, so path variable long, and then optional user equals to user service dot get user by id, return user dot map response entity. Okay, or else create a lambda head response entity not found dot build. Okay, and this is right. And lastly the delete mapping, right? Okay, so delete the user from the db, create a user, no, 1 second, this will be post mapping, right? Yeah, okay. So user controller user service enabled model is ready, right? So now let's, booking service is ready, booking controller is ready, property service is ready, and property controller is left. Okay, so property controller, so let's get started, right? Request mapping, API slash properties, and auto add, private property service, and yeah, so let's create a post mapping. Okay, so for creating of the post mapping we require public property request body property And then again request param long user id return property service dot create property and then user, what's that, user id. Okay, and then we have got two things, that is get mapping. Okay, and then lastly we have got the get map for get all properties, right? Done. So this is the endpoints. Okay, and the params, right? So everything is done. Now now we have to create a front end component, okay, of booking service and property controller. And user controller as well. So user controller front end React.js. Yeah. So now let's commit and push controller service and model and repo. So now let's do one thing. Let's push all the changes. And now it's time for the React, right? So for the React, let us open VS Code. And here is VS Code. Okay, so let's do one thing. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's go to terminal, npx create React app Airbnb frontend. Yeah. -L. npm install Axios. So let's go to the VS Code, right? So let's open the VS Code. Okay. So clicking on the open folder thingy, going to downloads, Airbnb, and this is the thing, right? So Airbnb frontend. All right. So let's close these. Let's open all the modules here. And let's for now stop the Spring Boot application. Okay. So moving to app.js, close this. Let's delete all this. It's indexing. Okay, so indexing might take some time, so let's take a quick break, okay? Actually, so now what we'll be doing is that we'll be creating two components: booking pro component and properties component, property component. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I'll go to SRC, creating a new folder called as my components, and another folder creating a new file called as booking. Network error. Something is already running there. Okay, it's terminated. Let's make it 80, 80, 80. Let's make it 80, 80, 80. Rerun it one more time. One second, what's this? Okay, we need to check the endpoint slash properties slash API slash properties. Okay, get API slash properties. Slash API. Okay, let's fix first one. Okay, cool. So now what we will be doing? 10 entries of users properties and uh, bookings dummy data with h2 data.sql and schema.sql. So let's have the schema now. So file data.sql. Schema.sql. data.sql. Let's stop and rerun. Okay. So we can visit the console, right? So localhost h2 h2 it's on 8080 or 8081. I think it's on 8080, right? Okay. There's some problem with SQL. So let's configure it. The h2. So let me just copy here. We run it. Let's see how it goes. Some problem here. Users. What? Okay. No, that's okay. Wait. 1 second. Copy this error. it's running, it's saying, okay, cool, got it. Okay, so if I will refresh the page here, oh, it's double API. Okay, let's change the VS Code. It's API. Let's move from here. Let's run it. Second. Bad response. Users. Is that users? Okay, let's go to the tab. Oh, sorry, where's the controller? API/users. And still it is not. There's some problem in the SQL query only. Wait. Table. Okay. Let's do one thing. Let's take a look at the schema. Okay, let's go to here and write table name equal to users. Let's run that thing now. Cool, it's working fine, but we're not getting anything in the response. So let's check the data. Users. Okay. Okay. Let's try this one more time, I guess. The DB is not getting populated. Okay. So if I'm going to write all this thing, then it should get populated, right? So select star from users. Okay. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's do like this. Column first name not found. Again, it's not coming. I don't know what is the issue. Blah 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 blah. So select star from slash API slash bookings. Okay, so we need to fix the cars then. Booking component properties, no need for base URL. Use a component. Okay. It will be like this. Then I should able to get something most probably. Okay. We are having the properties, we are having the users, but we are not getting something from the bookings. What could be the issue? Okay, well, let's do one thing. Let's integrate the Swagger. So for Swagger dependency, I'm going to my GitHub. All right. So now the Swagger is running. I guess in the next part of the video we can design the front end and integrate with the CSS and JS and also with the HTML, right? So that's all for now. Thanks for watching the video and see you in the part number 2. Thanks all.